Hello, everyone, and welcome to Global Grandmothers Council Network's Tending Our Roots. This is a beautiful time of the year in winter for us to go within and listen to our elders as they share wisdom with us. And we're so fortunate today to have Mayana Kingery with us and want to also acknowledge she is our key administrator for Global Grandmothers Council Network. And she was also the founder of this event. So it's so beautiful to be able to invite Mayana to share with all of us and be our voice for this episode. And so I want to welcome Mayana to share with us about your vision for tending our roots as well as what it is that that means for you. So welcome, Mayana.
Thank you, Kelly. It's such a joy to be here. Tending our roots came through in it tenderly, about tending and tenderness. And last winter, we we had just finished our fundraiser, and Grandmother Sharon was talking about the mycelium and our roots and how roots communicate through mycelium. And one day, as I was meditating, the tending our roots need came through, that there's the humanities tree is has an illness, and we need to tend to our roots. And when trees are sick, we have to go to the roots. So for me, that came out as tending my own roots first. So my roots as a human being, my parents, my family, my ancestors, grandparents. And I've tended to that over the years, but I looked at it again from another perspective in another way. And I also, because I do multidimensional work, I look at myself through a variety of dimensions, and I looked at the roots of each of those. And also in humanity, looking at the root of humanity's challenges and our species as a whole. And I've come to know myself in 13 dimensions and 13 perspectives, and each one of those has a seed and a root line. So by tending the roots of all of these different dimensions, that's where we come into peace in our core. And my desire for Global Grandmothers Council Network is that we come together and hold a form that is whole and healthy and share our wisdom in a way that's revered. And while we have roots in earth and we have roots in nature, we also have roots in the stars. So we have lineages, we have soul family, we have DNA and genetic traits that all are a part of tending our roots.
Wow, that's a beautiful explanation. You said form, and when I heard that word, I was remembering in the honoring of grandmother Suzanne, who recently passed away and who has been a big part of Global Grandmothers. She would say, you are holding the form of the administrator. You remember how she would do that? So beautiful. Well, thank you for that share. And I love your vision and how you see that. It's so true. It's all true to life for all of us to have to tend to our roots, huh? You have your own organization outside of grandmothers, which I want to acknowledge, Peace Production, and you have a nonprofit, and you also have supported the grandmothers through that. And I believe you could share more about that. But I also wanted to, in the season of this tending our roots intention, I wanted to ask you to share about your personal story. You have overcome something that many people struggle with. And in overcoming it, I believe you have something really important to share with us. You had fibromyalgia, which is such an intense condition and can be so debilitating. I have had many people in my journey who've had that, and I would love to hear how you overcame that, how you used your tending of your roots to address something that was really challenging in your life. Can
Oh,
you
thank
share with
you.
us?
Yes. So fibromyalgia came upon me slowly and took a long time to really be developed and to be diagnosed. It it got so bad I would be on the sofa and unable to move in pain for 3 months at a time. And I was raising my children, and that was no fun to be in that much pain. I was raised in fundamentalist Christianity, and my mother was in the John Birch Society. If you know anything of that, it's an outreach from the KKK. My great grandparents were members of the KKK in their headquarters in Grants Pass, Oregon. So my roots have some things that needed to be dealt with. And fibromyalgia, I came to understand through my process that fibromyalgia was my resistance to myself, to being me, that I was programmed, I was boxed, I was abused, I was thrown away and treated as though I had no value by the world I lived in. And I decided one day that I was going to overcome this, that I knew I could get well. And I had listened and read a lot of books, a lot of different things, but I knew the scriptures and I knew my faith and my of Jesus. You know, I was raised in Christianity, so that was my roots. So I went, but I also didn't believe all the lies of the churches. And I had studied and researched all of the truths about the what came to be known as the religion of Christianity and would not call myself that any longer. My journey of self-healing was going inside the place that hurt the most that day. What part of my body hurts the most today? Why? I need to get into it and understand where that pain is coming from so I can get to the seed of what caused that pain. Every day, I spent 3 hours a day every day because I was dedicated and committed to self-healing. I had a doctor that was a acupuncturist, massage therapist, chiropractor, Chinese medicine, Korean medicine, all wrapped up into one, who helped me through it. But nothing was as valuable as my daily meditations, getting into the pain. And sometimes it was hard to get in the pain. We don't want to feel pain, and we will resist feeling that pain. But I used breath work and stayed there until I could get inside. Sometimes there'd be a wall that I'd have to break through, break down. Sometimes I needed to find a switch or an entry point or a window or some way to get inside of it. But getting inside of the pain was always my intention and my practice. And once inside, I would begin to experience the source of that pain, whether it was from this life, a past life, an ancestor's life, or a pattern imprinted in my matrix to teach me something. And I spent years diving into those pains. And each time I understood and could see it from a different perspective and gather the treasure from that experience, because there was always a treasure, even if it was me getting killed in a past life, I could find a treasure there and I would bring the treasure forth. So those treasures all together brought me through the fibromyalgia and helped me know that I don't need to resist being who I am, that I need to fully be and fully embody my fullness. And I came to know myself in many dimensions. And I came to understand and bring through a practice. I call it the personal guidance system. And it's 12 dimensions of self that grow into a 13 energy pattern. I have a Facebook event coming up in January, February, and March. You can pick a date for that. We'll put links in the comments. It's called Journey Safely to Your Heart's Home, to help people come to their own self-healing. Is even going to a healer that's so valuable, but we have to take the responsibility for our own self-healing, even when we have a guide with us. Even when we have somebody helping us through the process, it is our job to do the healing. So I teach people how to come to know themselves in many dimensions and come to their own core of peace within. And through that process, I also brought through the Blue Lotus Chakra Bloom that you'll see behind me here, that show how I understand the matrix. If we look at the holographic universe, at the program that creates our physical life, I'm firmly in the knowing that there is a hologram, that we are living in this physical program. And it is programmed to keep us under control and for other people to benefit from our lives, not our own selves benefiting. Yet, I went through this experience of my chakras blooming. I came to understand how psychic energy works on the human being and how it's so hard to break free from the matrix. You know, we've all seen the movie, The Matrix, take the red pill or the blue pill. Well, what I came to know is that when you go through a black hole, you come out in the white light on the other side, and you can be free. Now, I went through the black hole and got this technology and this wisdom, so you don't have to. I can share it now with the world because I went through it and came back to embody it and share the frequency of it and bring that wisdom through for others.
That is a really true, beautiful, and powerful gift. And so people can learn more about that. You mentioned that you have some meditations on your website, don't you, that people can access on Peace Production, your website. So we'll make certain we put that website up so that people can find their way to that meditation process that would probably be very helpful to many people if they're struggling with anything. I'm sure it doesn't have to be fibromyalgia. It can be anything, right? That you
Correct.
said.
The self-healing meditation that I have, you takes you into your own self, and it uses two different methods to heal. There's breath work and there's frequency. So you can go inside and breathe through it, which is really powerful to bring that divine energy through your breath into that space. And then there's another process that is raising the octave of the space. So I would feel the octave of this dis-ease and go an octave up and up. And usually by the time you get 8 octaves, you can't even imagine it anymore, that sound, but you can still know that you can keep going. And it takes it up into the angelic realm. And then you have to hold that frequency in your body, and it changes what you're experiencing.
That's wonderful. Awesome. Well, it's very powerful, your development of your service out of your own journey. And I think it's really powerful how a lot of us wisdom holders and grandmothers have things to offer that we have walked. It was from tending our roots and taking care of our own inner journey that we got here. Um, can you speak a little bit about peace production and what that is? Because you are holding a lot of love for other people, including global grandmothers and myself and several others. So, will you share a little bit about your vision and what it is that you offer through peace production?
Oh, sure. Thank you. So peaceproduction.org is a 501(c)(3) U.S. nonprofit that my beloved Andras Maros and I founded in 2013. We met in 2012 and our both of us knew that we wanted our work to be through nonprofit. We both had that in our history. I've been a nonprofit consultant. He's had nonprofits, and the name of it came through him, peaceproduction.org, because there is only one piece to produce in the heart of humanity. And we went to a lawyer on spring equinox at 11:11 a.m. And he knew why we were there in that moment. And he saw our vision for this nonprofit that would bring in other work, not just be our own work, but to be a gathering place for souls who have a heart work for the world. So it was our bylaws and our foundation was set up so that if someone has a work that they need nonprofit status for and they share it with us and we, oh, that's beautiful. That's in alignment with our mission, which is very broad. Why don't you join our Peace Council? We bring them onto our Peace Council and they bring their program, their life's work, and it's theirs, and they can have immediate 501(c)(3) status and begin getting donations and sponsors immediately for whatever their heart work is. And we've done that with Your Love, Wisdom, Power. We've done it with Regina Sen and Emily's Place, that she works with people with chronic debilitating pain. We did it with our local Yvette, who has Healing Springs Foundation. And we have several programs. Another one is our Everland.world, where there is a property in Boone, North Carolina that we are stewarding the manifesting of Maharishi Mahesh Yogi's mother's facility, women's facility in Boone, North Carolina, to turn it into a living, breathing new earth, multi-generational community and city of light on the mountaintop.
Yeah, Eco Village. It's
Yeah.
such a wonderful time for New Earth to create foundations of people who come together with various nonprofits. And you also, with Peace Productions, host Global Grandmother Councils networks nonprofit. And
Yes.
so you're also holding the grandmother organization in your umbrella. And, I feel like we're all these grandmothers sitting in this tree together. And I love this image for our Tending Our Roots this year because it really speaks to us being together in the roots of the tree and in the tree. So I love that. And it's really powerful that you offer that as a vision, but also as a support for organizations that are ready to take their next step. And I am going to get to share with all of you more about that soon. So I'll talk to you all about how Love, Wisdom, Power is blooming from its heart, thanks to that gift. So thank you. Thank
Oh,
you for doing that.
it's such a joy, to move from karma to dharma. That when Michelle and grandmother Suzanne met with me and asked me if I could turn Global Grandmothers Council Network into a nonprofit organization, my heart resounded with a yes immediately. And I am honored to hold the form for this organization. I hold the form for Peace Production. I do it with my beloved Andrash, but it's the feminine that really holds the form. And our feminine energies together are what birth the new earth. And that's what's coming through with conscious evolution. This is, the Blue Lotus chakra bloom and the personal guidance system that I teach. This is conscious evolution. You can evolve consciously, and according to all the indigenous prophecies, we have to evolve from our hearts, or we won't make it through these times, these challenging moments we are in as a species, as a world, as a cosmic presence.
Yeah, and our future selves. As you've spoken to before to me, you really see how our children are carrying that frequency. And I am a firm believer in seeing our future generations as the holders of our future, to really inspire youth and to support them. And Global Grandmothers, while we made a choice as an organization to focus on women, to really support women having voices and to be heard as women, I believe many of us understand and know why that is so important right now. But for those of you who be wondering, it's such a missing part of our culture and our world to have the wisdom of elder women speaking. And it is a very important time for the earth for us to be doing that. And at the same time, we also recognize that male energy and female energy work together. We honor our male companions, we honor our grandfathers, we honor our fathers, and we also honor the feminine wisdom. And we invite the masculine who want to hold and support the feminine to really be engaged with us. And I believe we'll hear more about that too as Global Grandmothers has its own evolutionary journey here. And I invite all of you to know during this year of development, we launched our magazine and we have a special edition that's honoring our grandmother that's coming out. So be looking for that. And Mayana, you have been such a key administrator in holding the space for projects and things that we're doing with Global Grandmothers, like the directory. Can you speak a little bit about, we had some struggles with some of the things we tried to launch, and we had to kind of back up and start again with some things. And I think that's true for anything starting off. You find your legs, right? So, do you want to speak a little bit about the directory or the magazine, any of that?
I would love to share, and I want to speak to Grandmother's Garden also. We established Grandmother's Garden as a place where we could gather outside of Facebook, and the technology didn't work. People supported us though. There were members in there. There was money flowing and helping to support our organization. But I had to make the choice to close it because it wasn't meeting the need that we said it would meet. And I couldn't keep taking the money from the grandmothers for something that wasn't doing what it said it would. So I stopped that. And we built the directory as a way to bring people together all over the world, not just grandmothers, but conscious work. They're in whatever category each individual's work is, that they could find what they need locally and globally. So we have ggcndirectory.org that is there and waiting to be populated. Well, I'm looking at this, we are right now, we're 18 months old as an organization. So the formula that we needed in our infancy is not what we need now. We need a different formula now. And we need real food. We need real substance to chew on. We have teeth. We can talk. We can walk. And this is where we are now. And the magazine has been our voice, our way of sharing voices of wisdom in times of chaos. Kalina Baines has been, as our editor, just fabulous in putting out these magazines. And with a little help from others, we could even put up individual articles on the directory. With a little help from others, we could have more wisdom shared more broadly. Because what good is it to preserve the wisdom and record it when it's not heard? And we're in a world that's not used to listening. So I invite you to listen, to read, to open the magazine and see how much wealth of wisdom is in there. On globalgrandmotherscouncil.org, you click on magazine and you have to put your email address in. Sorry about that. We're working on it. So if you've done it once, you wouldn't have to do it again, but we haven't got quite to that point yet. It's just an email address and we don't abuse it. So give us your email address and you can see all 14 issues free. They're there for you.
So I'm really looking forward to the evolution of that magazine because I feel like it's one of the most well-developed products that came out of our year of this last year of organization and working together. And Kalina has done a wonderful job of sharing. And so I invite all of you to explore the magazine. It is a digital magazine, so you can look at it online. And I know that it's probably most viewable on computers or laptops or tablets more so than phones, but you can view it on a phone. But it's a little trickier because, limited space. But it's really a beautiful product and has a lot of voices in it. And I believe a lot of beautiful grandmothers from around the world have written in and shared stories with all of you from there. And so definitely give that a look-see. You can go to globalgrandmotherscouncilnetwork.org and click on magazine to subscribe. Also, you can go to peaceproductions.org, peaceproductionsingular.org, and get to Mayana's website. And you can find her meditation, her classes, and other information about her organization, including the other organizations she supports and is holding love for and heart for. So thank you so much, Mayana, for being on Tending Our Roots and letting people hear more about you and your work in the world and your voice in the world and what Tending Your Roots has been and how you created that. And thank you so much because it's such a special thing for all of us to be able to receive that. And I thank you for your vision, your gifts, and your continued love and sharing from your heart to the world. We honor you today and thank you so much.
Thank you, Kelley. I'm so honored to be walking heart to heart with you and with all the others who join us. Heart to heart, hand in hand, eye to eye, walking into the new world.
Ah, blessings to you all. Thank you for being part of Tending Our Roots. We are going to have several other episodes for be looking for those. We'll be announcing those and putting them on our site. So thank you for participating, and I hope you've enjoyed this. Blessings to you all. And good luck with your own tending of your roots.